Hey, welcome to Table Flippers Podcast, Ministry of Greater Worship Christian Church in Lancaster, California. I am your host, Apostle Robert Enos. This is where we talk about the issue the church faces and how the church should respond to those issues. Here we will talk about doctrine, theology, politics, social and cultural issues, and how the church is to deal with these things. So get ready for a large dose of truth and get ready for the tables to be flipped. Here at Table Flippers, table flipping is what we do. Welcome back to another Table Flippers podcast. I'm so glad that each and every one of you tune in. I just really appreciate all the people that have been tuning in. This thing has been going around the world. It's been such a blessing to me. But today I have an awesome special guest. With me in the studio is Josh Washington. Josh is one of the coaches here at CrossFit Interchamber, the gym that I go to. He has been kicking my butt for the last year, and I thank God for Josh. We were talking the other day about some issues in the church, how people need to get themselves together, and I really wanted Josh to come on. So enough introduction. I'm going to turn it over to Josh.
Rob, I want to say thank you. It is an honor to be on this podcast and to be in your presence, sir. Thank you for all of that. I'm Josh. Nice to meet you guys. I am a personal trainer, full-time coach. I was born and raised in Lancaster, California. It's been an honor and a blessing to live most of my life out here and to be a coach in this atmosphere, to be able to see and change lives from day to day. Yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Now, just recently, Josh has been working on his fitness business, and I want him to share a little bit about that because one of the things, you guys know by now, Table Flippers is about dealing with the issues that the church, especially the church world, deals with. And I grew up in the church, and unfortunately, what I saw growing up, and I thought it was just normal, was so many people were really extremely out of shape. I didn't realize it so young, but as I got older, I realized that's a big problem. Josh here, he goes to a church down below. For those of us who live up in the Antelope Valley, that means the San Fernando Valley. Good church down there. And he's a trainer, and he's been helping me get myself in shape. And I wanted him to come on here just to help all of you. Maybe you're struggling and you say, where do I start? Well, Josh is going to help you know exactly where to start in your fitness journey.
Yes. So I just wanted to start off by saying the importance of healthy living, right? There's a few questions that stand out. What is healthy living, right? So going over all the dynamics of that, and sometimes is where do we start, right? And what is the importance of a healthy living? What is a healthy living, and where do we start, right? So Rob, the true question is what is a healthy living? I get that all the time. How do I start? What is the importance of it, right? Should it be very important to me? This should be a vital thing that I should worry about each and every day. The importance of healthy living. What is a healthy living? Healthy living to me is just it's a broad term that goes around. And what I truly believe is that, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. A healthy living, one thing that we can all agree on is to control the controllables. And for me, the controllables are, am I sleeping 6 to 7 hours a night? Am I drinking 128 ounces of water a day? Am I looking at my added sugar intake from day to day? Am I stretching at least 15 to 30 minutes a day? And am I at least doing some sort of workout, whether it's a 10-minute walk or a 2-hour-long strength exercise with high intensity input, right? So these are the controllables, right? From what I've known in the fitness industry this is something that a lot of people cannot disagree about, right? If you control these things, you could put any human being in that atmosphere and you can say they're pretty much living a healthy life. You walk 10 to 30 minutes a day, right? You live an active lifestyle. You sleep 7+ hours a night. You eat at least one vegetable a day. You stretch 15 minutes a day. You're living a pretty healthy life. That's a good start to where we're at. Rob, I want to hear some of your input and how this format has helped you in your journey.
As I said, Josh is my coach here. I would like to say personal coach, but I attend one of his class here, the noon class. So if you're in the Palmdale, Lancaster area, please come out at noon to CrossFit Interchamber, and you'll see. I've been here about a year, and in that year, I lost initially 15 pounds of fat. I was never really a big guy, but I also didn't have a lot of muscle. And since then, I've lost 15 pounds of fat, but I gained about 5 pounds of muscle, and I've been able to keep it on. My blood pressure is normalizing. I can see and feel the difference in myself, health. I just have more strength, more energy, more ability. I get compliments now from people. And it's not just about the compliments, but the compliments do mean there is something that's measurable that's going on in my life. And it's really good. So what I like about, I'm going to pump Josh up here, and he's going to get mad at me for this, but what I love about Josh and all the coaches here is, and I love about this particular gym, I've never heard a negative word, never heard anybody get put down, never heard anybody get blasted, for not performing or something, even though those certain movements and such, especially early on, that I just could not do. Everything was scaled. There was always something was found, and I was always being pumped up, built up, and it made me want to come back. So it's not just about the workout itself. It's really about the atmosphere that you've created and the other coaches have created that makes people want to come back. And even though my body says, don't you dare go back, everything else is saying, no, we're going back because there's value. And you guys have added value to me, and I see you and watch you every day add value to other people. So it's not just about the health aspect, but in a real way, it really is, because people are getting emotionally healthy as well.
Yes.
So, for me personally, it's the whole thing. Physical, emotional, spiritual, and it all works together. And that's what I want for the body of Christ.
Yes, Rob. I love hearing that. That is amazing. One thing I truly preach myself is health, wealth, peace, and prosperity, right? We got to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit, right? And, working out is one of those things that, we don't want to do. Right? We don't volunteer ourselves naturally to suffer, right? And it's crazy because my sermon at my church was between Romans 5 and 9, and it preaches about embracing and boasting on your suffering, right? And it's embracing it, right? And I was just like, that's weird how we were going to do this today, and that was the sermon this last Sunday. There's a few other questions, like where do we start? Right? Where do we start as a people, right? I can be middle-aged, out of shape, on the couch, right? We all start somewhere. Whether somebody has been working out for 10 years, 20 years, or maybe today I want to get started. I've been on the couch and I'm interested. Where do I start? I'm interested, Josh, so I'm sold. And the question is simple. I want to give you guys some information about what a lot of doctors, if they could put this one simple thing into a pill, what is that thing? And they can't put this thing in a pill, and it's called exercise, right? If we could put just 10 minutes a day, and then maybe eventually increasing that to about 30 minutes a day, out of 24 hours, I can sacrifice 30 minutes of my day to just sweat and do some form of suffering, something that I don't like to do, so that I can be better mentally, physically, and spiritually, right? So that's one thing, right? A great way to start is choose something you love to do, right? It doesn't have to be a sport. It could be an activity, right? Something that you love to do that will help you lose calories or get your heart rate going to train your heart for when you do hit the later years of your life, right? And that's a great way. I work out full time myself, but I believe the other day I played basketball. To not know that me playing basketball for 2 hours and having fun was way more strain and way more burning of calories than it was for me doing my actual training, right? And it was a distraction because I actually enjoyed it, right? So that's a good way. It could be an activity of like me and you sitting here talking and walking, right? Going on a nice little 30-minute hike and just breaking bread with each other, right? That's another great way. The most important thing in all of that is to just move, right? We don't want to overcomplicate anything here. The biggest thing is just move, right? Whatever that is, sport, activity, walk with a friend, a hike, getting outdoors, maybe get some views, just move, right? So that's step number one. I wanted to know what you think about that, Rob.
I totally agree with you. That's one of the things that I've seen even in my own life and many countless others. We get so out of shape when we are not moving. And even here in the middle of, say, we're rowing like crazy, and I feel like I'm about to pass out or die. I want to stop. And I hear you yell at me, keep moving, even if I slow down a little bit to catch my breath, but
Yes.
keep moving. And even in those intensive workouts, the movement is extremely important. So if it's important in the middle of a workout, how much more important for the couch potato or the person who's struggling with their health? Maybe sit behind a desk all day long at work, 8 hours a day behind their desk. And if that's your job, that's fine. But what about after work or before work? Getting that movement in, so that when you're 8 hours behind a desk, you're not just getting more and more and more out of shape. Totally agree with you. And even some of the things my wife and I do, she has her little dog, little Mambo. So our thing is sometimes just go for a walk and walk the dog. We're not doing anything super strenuous, but we are moving.
Yes.
And that helps. I can't tell you how much that helps. So I totally agree with you. I do have a question for you.
Yes.
What about, you said the water. And I know a lot of people drink a lot of liquids today, whether it be coffee, tea, things like that. Why is drinking the water so important? And, just the water. That's one of the things that you pressed upon me earlier. Drink lots of water, which I already did, but not nearly as much as you were telling me. But I want to hear your perspective on the why and the benefits behind all that water.
So, Rob, it goes back to where we start, right? Just to keep it simple, it starts with our hydration, right? It flushes the toxins of our body, right? And it shows us, too, that we don't, if you go into a regular routine of drinking 128 ounces or maybe a little less than 100 ounces of water a day, it may even show us that we don't need as much as the soda that we need or the caffeine that we may need, right? And then you're going to see huge, drastic differences on your energy levels just from drinking more water from day to day, right? It's one thing I truly believe too as well is the first thing that we're made up of is a blood vessel, right? And the best way to increase circulation is to drink more water and to train and work out more. Just move, right? So that's just something I believe, Rob. And yeah, that's something that's been proven to work for my clients, right? Clients that I know of mine that are fighting disease. And yeah, man, we're seeing amazing differences just from increase of water intake. So water intake is a great place to start.
Yeah, I notice it even in my own life, or my own body, drinking more water. It really has begun to shift and change some things with me because I didn't realize how much other things I was drinking that weren't as healthy, such as coffees, teas, fruit juices, which contain a lot of sugar in them anyways. So when I started really focusing on drinking more water, it really made me realize how unhealthy the rest of my eating habits and such were. That made it easier to start replacing even on the eating side, because it made me think, what about all the carbs I'm eating? What about all the sugars I'm eating? What about all the bad foods that I'm eating? So just drinking that water helped me a great deal. And, when we get into these workouts, I sweat so much. I sweat more. I sweat about half a gallon of water in one workout. But, it makes me feel good, and it's detoxing my body. So, I'm not saying drink a gallon today, tomorrow you feel awesome. But over time, you start really feeling great because it gets all those toxins out of your body. Yes. So tell us some more about this because I know, again, there's so many people out there that are, right there, what can you tell them or help them with to get them taking that first step? Or maybe they've already taken the first step and now they need a second step.
Yes.
Help them move along, because I want to see the body of Christ healthy.
Yes.
In every respect, but even physically.
So Rob, we touched about the controllables, and we talked about all of that. I truly believe where we falter at, and this is us as a global, right? Where we falter at is our accountability, our consistency, right? And so our goals, especially with my business and CrossFit Inner Chamber, Vitality, Strength, and Athletics, our goal is to help you guys increase your accountability, right? And help with your consistency and create that atmosphere so that you guys can have a great community to fall back on. People that are doing the same things to make that healthy, conscious decision to move in the right direction to support the temple, right? So for me, any source of accountability, whether it's a close friend like you, Rob, or a family member, right? A good way to put that in is daily check-ins. Like, hey, Rob, man, how's your health today? It's not, as they say, corny or whatever that is, right? To say, hey, man, like, how's your health today? Did you drink your water? Did you work out today? Right? Did you do this? Did you do that? I love for somebody to tell me, hey, man, your macking is showing some slacking. Right? Straight up. Like, let me know if I'm not doing what I said I was gonna do. Commitment, right? Staying true to what I said I was gonna do long after the mood I have set it in has left. Has nothing to do about anything else. Has everything to do with, Rob, we're gonna make this conscious change in our lives. Let's check in with each other. And then I want you to give it to me rough and raw, and I don't want you to leave anything to my imagination. So that's a great way to start. And also having a vision board, right? Maybe it helps you to see it every day in the morning. I went through a branch in my life to where I was just listening to motivational speeches of my favorite, Inky Johnson. If you guys didn't know him already, I would listen to him every morning just so that I can spark that fiber in my brain to just get me going, to light that fire under me to say, hey, today is the day. Every single day I'm made new, and today is the day. I'm not worried about yesterday. I'm not worried about 3 days from now. That today is my day. I could be 50. I could be 8 years old. Today is my day. And I'm going to do whatever I can in my body to find a way to suffer so that I can make those necessary changes and have that breakthrough in my life. That's definitely one thing. So the daily check-ins and having that accountability factor, and then actually starting this journey with somebody.
You touched upon the accountability, and I can honestly say, I can't tell you how important that is. That cannot be overemphasized. One of the reasons why I keep coming back, quite frankly, is just that. When I wake up in the morning, you guys, I am not a gym rat. That's not me. I come to the gym at least 3 times a week. I do my best. I aim for 5, but because of my lifestyle and how busy my wife and I are, if I make 3, I'm doing really good. But I feel like just because of that accountability and the friendships that I've developed here, that I'm letting you guys down if I don't show up. It's not that my body's going, yes, let's go work out. No, my mind is going, I'll let them down because of that accountability. It's that important. I feel accountable to you guys. So I agree 100%. Having somebody that you can be accountable to in your journey, in your health journey, on your food, on your water intake, on your working out, things of that nature, even on your mental health. What are you listening to? What's going on in your world? Like you said, the motivational speakers. Do you have people and things in your life that build you up, even audibly? I can tell you how important that is, especially for us today, believers. We've got to get ourselves together. We've got to get ourselves healthy, spirit, soul, and body. And I know many people out there will read that passage in the scripture that talks about how working out doesn't bring anything spiritual to the table. And I agree with that. I don't feel spiritual when I'm sweating out there. But what it does is it gives me the energy to minister. It gives me the health to minister. If I'm in a wheelchair in a hospital bed, I'm not doing anybody much good.
Yes.
But if I'm healthy and I'm out there, I can pray for them longer. I can minister to them. I can travel the world and do the things God has called me to do because I'm healthy enough to do that.
Yes.
So in that regard, it is very important. I'm not saying I'm getting closer to Jesus because I might be feeling like it at that moment, but because I'm working out.
Yeah.
But it helps me help other people because I have the strength and the energy to do that.
Awesome. Rob, I absolutely love that. That is vital. That is very vital. I agree with everything you said. That is from the top to the bottom. I truly believe that, if we're serving God from day to day, whether you're an athlete, a preacher, whatever position God is putting you in daily to spread his gospel, if we're not healthy enough to do that, what are we truly doing? If I can't get up on the pulpit, right? If I can't control my heart rate, if I'm on a hospital bed, like you said, what am I doing, right? Am I taking care of what he gave to me? So that's just something that I believe. I love how you touched up on that. That's so spot on. I can't even elaborate anymore on that because that's awesome. But dude, that is great. So we touched up on accountability. So for me, it's outlook. It's the outlook on like what health is. Where do we start? So looking back on what do I need to improve on? I'm looking at what do I need to improve on, and then going to what are the necessary steps that I need to take, right? And then consistency, accountability, and if you need that little bit of extra help, we do have a facility, or you do have a home to come to, so that you guys can start your journey. Whether that's 10 minutes of walk around the block, increasing your water intake, recognizing what do you eat all day. Sometimes we're just not conscious enough about what we're putting into our bodies, and that's a big thing too. So if I had to summarize it up,
Josh, I really enjoyed having you in actually your studio. This is your office, but I really enjoyed having you on the podcast because this is something that's been so needed. So we talked about a lot of things, and I don't want to give the people just information overload, although you can go listen to this podcast 20 times if you want to get the information. But just give them a kind of a checklist, a bullet point, just real quick, what are the top things that we talked about that they can do and they can start literally today, right now.
So a great way to start is the controllables. Let me say, I'm going to control what I can control. And it starts with your water. So number one, they have a really good water app that you can download. Any app that you want to take to track your water intake. That's number one. Number two, eating. We don't want to go too far deep into this. Let's just try to take an outlook on our added sugars. Added sugars is a big one. Next is sleep. This is probably the most important one. We cannot function well if we are not sleeping well. So let me make sure that I take away at least 8 hours to just get rest. Even if I'm not sleeping for the full 8, but try to get 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night, right? So that we could be rested and be ready to go for the next day. Number 4, stretching. Let me spend some time just listening to my own thoughts in my spiritual realm. Stretching. That's a great time to do that. Stretching, elongating my body so that my muscles and my body can perform from day to day. Next will be working out, whether that's that 10-minute walk we talked about, or going to the gym, or coming to a gym like CrossFit Inner Chamber so that you can get a nice good start there, right? So these are the controllables. If I had to take a full summary, what's the outlook? Okay, this is health. This is a great way to start. What do we need to improve in? Rob, if me and you are starting our journey, what do we need to improve in? Let's talk about that, right? Whether that's a talk with you and your buddy, you and a family member, or just you and yourself. Write down a few things that you need to improve on. Also, after that, what are the necessary steps that I need to take to head in that direction, which is the controllables, the sleep, the eating. And feel free to pause this video and go back in and jot all this stuff down. Then the most important part, once you have all of that down, is consistency and accountability, right? If I'm starting this thing up with you, Rob, hold me accountable, man. Let me know, like, when my macking is showing some slacking, right? Let me know if I look down and out, man, and I need a little bit of pick me up today, right? I would truly appreciate that. That's a great way to start. Great way to start. And that consistency of saying, man, it's by God's grace that I get a chance every single day to get up and suffer so that I can support this temple that he gave me, that he created. And that's where it starts. So it's like, hey, Josh, man, I have all this down. I'm with you, but I need that little bit of an extra push. And I got you. This is Vitality, Strength, and Athletics. And I've been seeing amazing results from clients that are the healthiest or clients that may be fighting disease and looking forward to just to get back to the standard, right? So if any of that is you, please feel free to contact me at Vitality, Strength, and Athletics, no spaces, on Instagram and Facebook. You can contact me at 661-451-3006. Please feel free if you need a facility to come to at CrossFit Inner Chamber down in Lancaster, California. Right? Feel free to come and join us. We're doing big things here. We're making big changes by the grace of God. We're still in the right direction. Thank you, Rob, for having me on your show, man. You are amazing. Yes, man. Love you, bro.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being on this. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we'll put all the information, the contact information in the notes where you click on the show, the description of this particular podcast. I'll make sure everything is on there so you can just point and click or cut and paste so you can get right to CrossFit Inner Chamber. You can get right to Josh Washington and his business. You can call him, and please do. And one of the biggest mistakes that we make, I know I've made this over and over again, when I was extremely out of shape, I had this silly notion that I had to get in shape to go to the gym so I wouldn't be embarrassed at the gym being out of shape. Yet it was the gym that was going to get me in shape. I don't know if you followed all that, but that was some of the things that we go through. Like, I'm too sick or I'm too out of shape to go to the gym. That's why the gym is there. And what I love about what Josh does, what I love about this particular gym is everything's scaled. If I come in here and I can't lift what's up on the board, they will find something for me to do that I can do until I can get to what that number is on the board. So I'm going to give Josh one final, let him share his final thoughts here before we cut out.
So, Rob, yes, something else that I wanted to touch up on, and it's something that my brother Daniel told me. Shout out to Daniel. That's my brother and life coach right there. But one thing that really stood out that he told me was, it's not about the daily increase in life. More so, it's about the daily decrease in life. Hack away at the unessential, right? What more of my life do I need to add? Or do I need to just take some away? I have all of these things. I'm coasting down this line, right? I'm traveling, whether I'm going 60 miles per hour or 100 miles per hour. But we intentionally put all these roadblocks in front of us that slow us down, that get us to that promise. Right? So let's remove those barriers spiritually, physically, mentally, so that we could be closer to God. And I believe that. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you again, Josh. It's been great. Now we're going to cut out of here because we got to go in there and get to work in our class. So, but ladies and gentlemen, listen, this is your time. This is your season. This is your day. Take that first step. If you haven't already taken it, take that first step literally today. The day that you listen to this podcast, do something towards a healthier tomorrow. If you're already doing something, listen, I encourage you to bring something in that maybe what Josh talked about. If you don't have that, if you don't have a mentor, you don't have a accountability, you're not drinking enough water, whatever it is, just increase in those areas. And keep increasing, keep pushing yourself. until you hit your goals, and you will hit them. But I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but it will be well worth the journey, well worth the struggle. Because when you hit 60, 70, 80, even 90 years old, and you're still mobile, you're still out there, you're still doing things, you're spending time with your grandkids and even great-grandkids, yes. Trust me, you'll look back, and every struggle in the gym, every struggle chugging down that last drop of water, every struggle, hearing your accountability partner kind of get in your face and motivate you, all of that struggle is going to be so worth it. Nowadays, when I wake up in the morning, I can bounce out of bed without pain in my body, and I can move, and I can do things without any problem, and I can run around with my grandkids playing soccer and such. It's a good day. And I owe it to people such as Josh Washington, because he keeps me moving, he keeps me motivated, and he's helping to keep me healthy. And I plan on being around. I plan on bugging Josh until I'm like 98 years old. Then I'll retire from bugging Josh. But until that day, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to bug him. I'm going to be all up in his grill. I'm going to be just messing with his mind until I'm like 98. So if you have people like that you want to bug for a long time, you got to be healthy enough to do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, Rob. Amazing. Thank you for the amazing podcast. Love you, bro. All glory to God. But thank you for having this amazing platform so we could be able to reach and touch lives, because that's what it's about, right? And we want to stir and mess people up like we stir and mess ourselves up, right? So all glory to God. Thank you, Rob. Love you, man. For real. Yes.
Appreciate you. You guys have a fantastic day out there. And listen, go take on the world. Go take on your day and be healthy, be strong, and let us know how your journey is going. God bless. Thank you for joining us here at Table Flippers. I would love to hear from you. You can find my contact information at www.gwcclancaster.org. That's gwcclancaster.org. Please let us know how we are doing. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments. Have a fantastic day.